Let's apply the logarithmic differentiation to this equation. So logarithmic differentiation is either you introduce ln both sides, or sometimes you'll find the equation that already has the natural log. But in this case we don't have our ln, so I'm going to introduce ln on the left hand side. So this will be ln y, which is equals to ln the square root of sine x plus cos x divided by cos x minus sine x. So let's simplify. On the left hand side there's no further simplification, but here I can write this square root as 1 over 2, which can be written as 1 over 2 the ln of sine x plus cos x divided by cos x minus sine x. I still have my ln y, so I'm not yet differentiating, I'm simply simplifying using my laws of natural logs. This was the first law. If you have ln x to power n, you can write this as n ln x. This is what I did in this step. So let's continue. If I have ln a over b, this can be ln a minus ln b. Maybe I should write it clear because this is important. If you have ln a over b, this is ln a minus ln b. In this case, my numerator is a and this is b. Let's go. I'll have my 1 over 2, then I'm going to open square brackets because this 1 over 2 should multiply everything inside this bracket. So this will be my ln a. What is my a? Is sine x plus cos x minus, this is the minus, ln b. What is my b? Is cos x minus sine x, close bracket. Now let's start. Now we can differentiate. So if I differentiate ln y, I will have 1 over y multiplied by y prime. On the right hand side, I'm going to keep my 1 over 2. If I differentiate a derivative, which is d by dx of ln x, is always 1 over x multiplied by the derivative of x, which is 1. So let's do the same thing here. This will be 1 over sine x plus cos x multiplied by the derivative of the denominator. Derivative of sine is cos x minus the derivative of cos is negative sine x, and then minus, I do the same thing even here. I'm gonna have 1 over cos x minus sine x. And then multiply by the derivative of my denominator. What is the derivative of cos? It's minus sine x. What is the derivative of sine? Is positive cos x. So this minus is this minus, and then close the square bracket. So let's continue. This will be y prime over y, which is equals to 1 over 2 into, so on this term I can simply say this is cos x minus sine x divided by sin x plus cos x. So here I have minus, so I can factor out -1, then that -1 multiplied by this negative will result to a plus sin x plus cos x divided by cos x minus sin x. Let's see if you can further simplify. I can take this as my denominator. Okay, so on the left hand side I still have y prime over y, which is 1 over 2. So let me take sin x plus cos x minus sin x. Now let's multiply. If I take this denominator and multiply it on this term, sin x plus cos x will cancel each other. I'll be left with cos x minus sin x multiplied by this, which is the same as cos x minus sin x squared. Let's multiply it on this term. This will cancel with this, and then I'll be left with plus sin x plus cos x squared. Okay. On the left hand side, I still have my y prime over y, which is 1 over 2 into, if you can look at this is a difference of two squares, so I can simply write my denominator as cos squared x minus sin squared x. Now let's come to the numerator. Okay, maybe we were supposed to expand it on this bracket, but anyway, if I expand this bracket, I will have cos squared x minus 2 cos x sin x plus sin squared x. I'm just expanding this bracket, plus let's expand this one. Similarly, I'll have sin squared x plus 2 cos x sin x plus cos squared x. Yes. Now let's continue. On the right hand side, I still have my y prime over y, which is equals to 1 over 2 into, if you look carefully on the numerator, this term will cancel with this term, and then this term will form 1. This is 1. Cos squared plus sin squared is 1. This term and this term will also form 1. Let's look at the denominator. If you look at the denominator, we have the double angle. This is equals to 2 cos 2x. Sorry, is equals to 2 is equals to cos 2x, not 2. That's a double angle. So let's continue. 1 plus 1 is 2 divided by 2 cos 2x